Hi everyone, welcome to my channel.
Hello students. So now in the last session we studied about the first three types of chemical reaction. So today in this session of part 2 we are going to study about the remaining types of chemical reactions like chemical displacement reaction, chemical double displacement reaction, oxidation reduction, corrosion and rancidity, and its applications in our daily life. The next type of chemical reaction is chemical displacement. So what is actually a chemical displacement? A chemical displacement is a reaction in which more reactive element displace less reactive element. It's a very important concept, children. Many times questions were asked based on the displacement reaction. So you need to focus on this concept, which there could be an asking of questions in your examinations. So a reaction in which more reactive element displaces less reactive element from its solution, such a reaction we call chemical displacement reaction. This is the reactivity order. Okay, potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium are high reactive elements. Zinc, iron, lead and copper are moderate reactive element. Silver and gold are least reactive element. This is a decreasing order of reactivity. Let us try to learn this chemical displacement reaction with some examples. Okay, examples such as Fe plus CuSO4. Okay, copper sulfate color is blue in color. Okay, when it is reacted with iron, the color of copper sulfate turns into green color. That copper sulfate which was blue, now it turns into green in color. Why? Because okay, copper is displaced, iron is displacing copper. Okay, iron is displacing copper from copper sulfate and forming ferrous sulfate plus copper. Copper is displaced now. So here why iron is displacing copper? Because iron is more reactive than copper. Okay, if I consider the reverse case, I'll take copper and ferrous sulfate. Okay, what happens then? No reaction. Why? Because copper is least reactive than iron. Okay, always in a displacement reaction, high reactive element displaces less reactive element. Never least reactive element displaces high reactive element. This is a very important point you need to remember in the reaction of chemical displacement. Okay, another example of zinc plus copper sulfate gives rise to zinc sulfate plus copper. So what is doing here? Zinc, okay, is being more reactive than copper. Copper is displaced from a solution. We'll get zinc sulfate and copper. Okay, this is about chemical displacement reaction. The next reaction is about chemical double displacement. So what is chemical double displacement? A reaction in which new compounds are formed by mutual exchange of ions between two compounds is called double displacement. Okay, let us try to understand this chemical double displacement with an example. Okay, sodium sulfate, when it is reacted with the barium chloride, okay, and it forms one insoluble substance as a product. That insoluble substance as a product is nothing but barium sulfate. So this is precipitate. So any reaction that produces a precipitate can be called a precipitate reaction. So during this reaction between sodium sulfate and barium chloride, okay, the white color precipitate is formed due to the reaction between between barium and sulfate. Sulfate is a diion and barium is 2A plus. There will be reaction between Ba2 plus and SO4 2 minus. It gives you barium sulfate. Okay, this is about chemical double displacement. Thank you. So next type of reaction is oxidation and reduction. So what is oxidation? Oxidation is nothing but addition of oxygen to the substance or removal of hydrogen from a substance is called oxidation. Let us consider an example of copper. When it is reacted with oxygen, it will give you copper oxide. The color of copper is brown in color. When it is heated in presence of oxygen, will give you black colored compound called copper oxide. In this case, there is an addition of oxygen to the copper. So hence, copper is said to be oxidized. So this is about oxidation. So then what is actually a reduction? Reduction is exactly reverse to that of oxidation. What is reduction? Reduction is nothing but addition of hydrogen to the substance or removal of oxygen from a substance is called a reduction. In an example, you can very clearly see when hydrogen is added to the copper oxide, okay, So copper oxide becomes brown in color copper and water molecule is formed. So here in this case what is happening? Okay, from a copper oxide oxygen is removed, so this is said to be reduced. So if any substance which removes oxygen are said to be reduced, which adds oxygen are said to be oxidized. Okay, so this is about oxidation and reduction. Now the topic is about effect of oxidation reactions in our daily life. So among that, let us study first about corrosion. So you might have observed that iron articles are shining when they are new, right? So but when they are left for some time, what happens? A reddish brown color powder forms on the surfaces. So that process we call what? Rusting of iron. And you might have observed some other metals, okay, they changes their color. Okay, so you might have noticed the color of coating of copper and silver. So here when a metal, okay, when a metal is kept or when it is exposed to moisture, any metal, you take iron, copper, zinc, whatever the metal, when it is exposed to or kept to moisture or acids, okay, so it is said to be corrode. It is said to be corrode, and this process is called corrosion. Okay, is it clear, children? Process is called corrosion. In common we can say formation of a layer over the metal surface. Such a process we call corrosion. So examples of corrosion: black coating on silver. Sometimes you can find a black color coating on silver. It is an example of corrosion. Another example you can take: green coating on copper, rusting of iron. Okay, rusting of iron. And sometimes when you take vegetables or fruits, when they are exposed to the atmosphere, they changes their color. Change in color. Change in color, okay, on fruits. That is also due to the example of corrosion. So not only that, this corrosion also causes severe damages to our car bodies, bridges, iron railings, ships, and all the objects that which are made up of metal, especially which are made up of iron. Okay, so corrosion is a serious problem. So how do we prevent corrosion? So about the prevention of corrosion you learn in the chapter 3. Okay, so what that here I'll give you some methods where you can have elaborate discussion in the chapter 3. Those methods are galvanization method, electroplating method. Third one is alloying, formation of alloys. And the last, which is very common, coating one metal with other, metal. Okay, and the last one, applying oil or paint on iron articles. So this prevents corrosion. Okay, hope the concept of corrosion is very clear for you all. So what is rancidity? So rancidity is nothing but sometimes when our food containing fats and oil, when they are exposed to the air, they get oxidizes. When they get oxidizes, they changes their smell and taste also get changes. Such a process we call what? Rancidity. Okay, so for that what we generally do, the substances we prevent oxidation, means food antioxidants are added to the food that which contains fats and oil. So how can we prevent this rancidity? So rancidity can be prevented. The very important point, keeping food in airtight containers. Okay, while keeping food in airtight containers, we can prevent rancidity. Okay, so this is about corrosion and rancidity. Hope you have understood this concept. So if you understood this session, please do like it, share it and subscribe it. Thank you.